Thanks for joining me. Today we will be practicing a fearless flow Vinyasa, and so not necessarily a beginner style class. So if you're a beginner, maybe you want to switch to one of my gentle or yin classes for now. Eventually there'll be a beginner option as well. If you do choose to do it, you're physically fit, you're somewhat familiar with yoga, just please make sure that you really take it at your own pace, rest when you need. And that goes for everybody, of course, even if Vinyasa is a regular part of your practice. Just honor your body and be fearless, but also be safe in your body and enjoy the process of movement and breath and connection. Maybe even fearlessness. So close your eyes, find a comfortable seat, maybe sitting up on a couple of folded up towels or blankets. If you have bricks, I don't know where mine are, they're over there, or a strap, you're welcome to grab those as well. Just close the eyes, take a nice deep breath in, resting your hands anywhere comfortable, and breathing out. And a nice deep breath in. Softening the shoulders back, lifting the chest, belly button slightly lifts. Let the breath out the mouth this time, just kind of sighing into your space. Maybe do that one more time. Breathing fuller, deeper, expanding the lungs. Exhale. And gently seal the lips. Start to let the breath flow in and out of the nose. Relax all the muscles on the face. Just relaxing to the sounds of nature, the birds chirping. Maybe you can hear the pond playing off in the distance. The mind is still racing, just gently, be gentle, kind to yourself. Just really shift your attention to your breath. You're just watching the inhale, and then you're watching the exhale, really being in the experience of breath, which then in fact is this moment, practicing presence. The Thich Nhat Hanh quote that says, "When the crowded Vietnamese refugee boats met with storms or pirates, if everyone panicked, all would be lost. But if even one person on the boat remained calm and centered, it was enough. It showed the way for everyone to survive." So as we're amidst this very scary time in our world, not allowing the fear to be the driver, right? Letting the fear just take a back seat and acknowledging the fear. It's so important to acknowledge that the fear is there, and not necessarily just the fear of the coronavirus, but there's so many other, so many other things that we are potentially fearful of. Death, right? Losing someone we love. The fear of facing a past trauma that's happened to us. I mean, the list could just go on, all the potential ways that we could be scared and holding on to fear. So today I'm just going to invite you to kind of turn toward your fear. I want you to acknowledge your fear. It's there, and validate, validate yourself, validate the fear. But again, don't let be fear what's driving you. Can you step to a different emotion, a different approach so that you're kind of embracing what is right now, right? What is beautiful? What's around you? What can you be grateful for? Can you face something that you've been fearful of? Well, maybe you have this extra time, if you happen to have extra time, and can you use it to help kind of break through to the other side of that fear and just try something new? And maybe you do that today on your mat physically, right? Trying some of these different postures that will do that might challenge your body, that might be a little bit scary. And it's going to encourage you to go for it, as long as it's not causing pain or anything that wouldn't be good for your body that could cause you to get hurt. But just really challenge yourself to be fearless. Talk more about that as we flow. I'll bring in some different quotes and different inspirations. But for now, let's just bring one hand to the heart, maybe one hand to the stomach. I'm just taking a moment here to acknowledge fear. And it might just flow in all kinds of different forms, different ways, different fears. Acknowledge that they're there. And choose this time to nurture yourself, to be brave, to be loving, and to maybe allow hope, faith, love, inspiration to drive the bus today. When you're ready, release and just take the arms up high to the sky, sweeping up, sitting up a little bit taller. Gaze lifting up toward the fingertips. And exhale and just dropping your hands back down. Taking a side bend, let your right hand come down, left arm goes up. Keep your left hip pressing down into the floor as you reach over. And both hips just, your seat just pressing down into whatever you're sitting on. Inhale and come up. And then exhale and switch sides. Letting the chest open slightly, really breathing into the potential in that side body. Inhale, and coming back up and letting your right hand come around to your left knee. Sorry, I can't remember if I started out mirroring or not. It's tricky when I'm just looking at myself and not the other people in the room to remind me what I'm doing. But as long as you do both sides, we're good to go. When you're ready, you can come back forward and just twist to the other direction, whatever that might be for you. And inhale back to center. Okay, so you're going to scooch onto your bum, and if you have a little strap or towel that you might want to use, you might want to have it nearby. It's okay if you don't. And you'll lay down onto your back. And then take your feet up to the sky. Hands next to your hips. Rock your hips a little bit side to side. Thumbs right underneath the seat. Inhale here. And then exhale, lower your right leg till it's hovering off of the ground. Okay, so if this is enough for you, stay right here. If you want a little more challenge, lower your left leg. Just about halfway, a third of the way. Try to keep your shoulders down. Back of the head on the mat. Nice neutral neck. Ribs pulling down toward the floor. Bring both legs back up. Switch sides, left leg lowering. Heel hovering. Staying here if that's enough challenge. Or lowering that right leg about a third of the way until you kind of feel that core, those abs kick in a little bit more. It's a little bit more work. You want to be in that place where it's a little bit more work, so you get stronger. And then make sure you're breathing. And bring the legs back up. Good. On an inhale. This time both legs at the same time. Lower a third of the way. And then a third of the way. And then a third of the way until your heels are hovering. Staying strong here. And squeeze the legs back up. Good. Go another round. Exhale. Lower the legs a third of the way. Another third of the way. And another third of the way. If you need to bend the knees at all or not take the legs so low, you just do that. Okay? And then from here, take your hands out from underneath you as you lift your shoulders and your head off the ground and just reach for your heels in a half boat position. Good. If you need to modify, just lower your shoulders and your hands back down. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, your right leg back down. Inhale, your right leg up. Twist to the right. So bring both hands over, connect the palms together, and you're going to pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, point the fingers up toward the foot and just reach your fingertips toward the outside edge of your foot. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. To modify, you can have your left heel on the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the head down, release the hands down. Lower the right leg to meet the left leg and then squeeze the left leg out. Good. Return the shoulders back up. Good. Inhale. Exhale, lower the foot down. Lift it back up. Lower the leg down. Lift it back up. Twist to the left, palms connect. Pulse it. 10, 9, 8, 7. You got it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the fingers up toward the outside edge of the foot and go. 10, 9, 8. Legs are bright. 3, maybe 2, 1. We'll call it there. Good. Head down, shoulders down, knees into chest. Nice work, you guys. You're going to take your strap or towel if you have or want. You're going to put your left foot on the ground, right leg up to the sky. Loop the strap around the foot if you'd like. Right? Otherwise, just holding onto the leg or onto the foot, whatever you can reach. You're going to keep the knee as bent as you need to get the heel right over the hip, right? So you don't want a straight leg with the leg way out here. You want to have bent knee, heel over hip, then starting to straighten the leg. Then if the leg gets straight with the heel over the hip, you can start to bring that leg closer to the body. Option to straighten your left leg. Okay, so here's a little bonus if you want just a little more core work. I know some of you like your core work. You can, so you're either going to stay here, right where you're at right now, or you're going to lift that chest back up, reach your hands forward, lift that left heel up, and really brightly reaching through the legs. Now pulse it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it back down. Nice work. Let's switch sides. When you're ready, loop the strap if you're using one. Start to just work the leg towards straight. Don't rush or force it. No big deal. Just be where you're at. Be grateful for where you're at. Don't be afraid of those hamstrings. And when you're ready, maybe bring that leg a little closer if the leg is straight. Right? And so be bright in the legs. What does that feel like or look like to you? Can you just kind of, I like to point my feet and flex the toes back. We call it flointing. And that just kind of wakes the legs up, kind of energizes the legs to me, it's just a feeling of being bright. And stay here or lifting shoulders off, head off, and releasing the hands and floating that right heel and pulsing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back down. Nice work. Knees into the chest. We're going to see if we can come to a standing forward fold, Uttanasana from here. So you're going to rock and roll a few times, massaging the spine, kind of enjoying that playful movement of just kind of rolling around on your back. Once you've done a few times, the way you'll get to your forward fold is planting your feet firm on the ground, letting your knees open so there's space for your torso, and then just bringing your hips to the sky fold. Straighten the legs as much as you can. Nice job. So separate your feet to hip distance, and just take any amount of fold that feels good for you. Knees might still need to be bent a lot here. They might feel open enough to straighten more. Relax your head and bring your forehead toward your knees or toward your shins. Lift the shoulders off the ears. Kind of use the hands a little bit to help deepen. Kind of use the arm strength. Maybe just close the eyes as you spend a few more breaths here. Allowing some fresh blood flow down into the brain. And when you're ready, inhale and just take your gaze forward. Nice open chest, belly button to spine. Press your feet down, reach your arms out wide, come all the way up. Exhale, let your hands land softly at the heart. Good. Place one hand on the stomach and one hand on the heart. Close your eyes. You have to be fearless and take chances. Don't live life fearing what comes next. And that's not what living is about. Just acknowledging what you're hearing now. Can we be fearless while remaining responsible, right? That doesn't mean, yeah, screw it. You know, I'm not afraid of this shit. I'm going park it on the beach and have a party. Not what I'm saying. Right? But just to be fearless in all that is happening and stepping into what life is all about. Being with our family, maybe being out in nature to the best of our abilities and being safe. Just getting out a little patch of dirt, right? Looking at a tree. Looking inside yourself. What else scares you? What's holding you back? And can we rise to the occasion of life? We don't know what happens next. So can we live now? That's what we got. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold down. Flat back inhale, moving through a nice gentle Surya Namaskar A. Exhale, walk or hop your feet back. Good. Lowering your knees down first round, or if you want to go straight in one piece, you can. But keep your elbows close to your body as you lower down. Core engaged. Inhale, hands off the floor. Just lift into a baby cobra just to start to strengthen the spine a bit. Good. And then exhale. Press into the palms. Bring yourself up, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Wrapping the outer arms toward the back of your space. Feel some freedom in your neck and your shoulders. Pull your ribs in toward one another. And then send your hips up and back. Eventually the legs might start to go straight. But don't worry about that so much now. You want to really make sure the spine has that nice long line from crown of the head all the way up to your seat. Anchor down through your knuckles, not just laying in your wrist, right? So stay light in your wrists. And feel almost like you're hugging as the outer arms wrap back. You're kind of hugging the forearms and the upper arms toward one another. Just kind of nice and solid. Just this hugging in, coming to center, nice and calm. So we know how to survive. Just nice and calm. Right here. Good. Take your gaze forward. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Walking or lightly hopping up to your hands. And flat back inhale.
That's your Ardha Uttanasana. And then folding into Uttanasana, letting your forehead come close to the legs. Inhale, reach your arms out wide, all the way up as your feet pressed out. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Inhale, let's do one more round. Reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, folding down. Flat back on the inhale. Chest extending out. Exhale, plant the hands, walk or hop your feet back. Lower halfway down or all the way. You can continue to stay on your knees. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Let's flow one more time. So inhale, just bring your shoulders forward to a plank. Okay, so just a reminder, every time we come through this little vinyasa portion, you can put your knees down, right, and lower down, or you lower in one piece. You can come all the way down. Cobra would be keeping your hips and your legs on the ground, lifting up as high as you comfortably can, elbows in. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, coming through plank position. Good. And then lowering forward and down. Maybe you come all the way to the belly and take another cobra. Maybe you stop halfway. Roll over the toes, pressing tops of the feet into the ground. Kneecaps are lifted off the ground. And that's your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job, you guys. Take a resting breath. Each time here, a chance to maybe get those legs a little bit straighter, to just kind of wake it up a little bit more. Feel your body changing, opening up. Take your gaze forward, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk, or maybe a little hop up to your thumbs as far as you can get them, and then walk the rest of the way if you need. Flat back. And full. Arms reach out wide, coming up. Hands coming to the heart. Fruits falling. Inhale. Sit down into Utkatasana. Now your chair pose. So you're going to bring your feet together, knees together. Sit down. And you slide your seat back and down. Knees drawing back behind those toes. Heels heavy, toes are light. Arms are reaching. Hug the ribs in. Right? So you're not poking your butt out and sticking your ribs out. You're hugging everything in. Right? Core engaged. Legs warming up. Inhale, exhale. Bring your chest forward into a half chair. And again, pull your ribs away from your thighs, even though you're bending closer to your thighs. Shoulder blades hug in. Legs are starting to get warm. Inhale, reach back up. Good. And again, exhale. Half chair. Good. Inhale, reaching up. Lift the heels up off the ground if you'd like to. Exhale, lowering the chest into that half, keeping those heels lifted if you want. Inhale, all the way up to standing, reaching high to the sky, heels lifting high to the sky, everything high to the sky, and release it down. Nice break. Inhale, sit down, chair pose. Good. Exhale, hands together, twist to the right, placing your left elbow outside your right knee. Circle the chest around. Inhale, back to center. Right on over to the other side, creating some heat, some warmth, some good fearless fuel. Back to center, inhale. Lift the heels. One last time, you can do it. Exhale, halfway down. Your other option is just to keep those heels down, no worries. Inhale, float it all the way up. Heels lifting, reaching, reaching. Hug the belly in. Softly land the heels down, hands down. Nice work. Circle the arms. Fold down. Flat back. Open feet hip distance. Exhale, peace fingers wrap around the big toes, fold in. Elbows draw out, shoulders off the ears. Next, deep breaths, soothing. Again, maybe just close your eyes in these poses that are just a little bit more quiet in the body, a little bit more relaxing, even though they're nice deep stretches. But I hope you to remember to just stay calm, stay centered, Stay present. Ready, you can inhale. Release the toes, flat back, look up. And plant the hands, walk or hop your feet back. Going through your Vinyasa, lower forward and down. Then upward facing dog or cobra. Shoulders wrapping back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, take the right leg up to the sky. Open up the hip and bend the knee today. So you're really lifting the right knee up high to the sky, and then you're rotating the hip open so that that right heel is coming closer to your butt. You're feeling like you're stacking your hips a bit. And then when you're ready, step the foot up between your thumbs. Inhale up into a high lunge, reaching the arms up. Good. And then exhale, cactus the arms. Good. Inhale the arms up. Good. And then exhale slowly. The hands can come down as you lower your back knee down with control. Let it softly land. If you need a little cushioning for your back knee, go ahead and throw something under there. Good. Hands are going to come down to the ground. You're going to circle your right arm up to the sky and around. See if you can bend your back knee and grab onto the foot. If you can, pull the heel in. So if you need, you can come up a little bit higher. That might help you to grab that foot, right? Or you could loop or strap around, right? Or just, hold here. Almost grabbing the foot. If you still feel okay, you can come down onto your forearm and start to roll your right shoulder open more. Pull that heel in as far as you can. It's okay for your right knee to be a little bit past the ankle, but don't have it way, way forward like this. When your back knee is down, it's okay. The knee can drift slightly past, but you still want a really nice alignment. Slowly releasing that foot, shifting your weight back to your half splits. The foot flexes. Don't let the word split scare you because you're going to hear it a good amount of times today. Fold it. So you're feeling your chest lengthen down your legs. Really feel this nice long line of energy and lengthening. The toes, that foot is flexed, toes pulling out, kneecap sliding up. And then inhale from here. Lift halfway up. Take your left hand inside of the foot, or for more challenge, outside of the foot for your modified revolved triangle. Okay, so then, whichever one you choose, and you can also use a brick. That's the time that would be appropriate and maybe helpful. Slide your right hand up to the sky. Keep your back shin and top of the foot firm on the earth. Kind of feel almost like you're dragging your left knee and your right heel toward one another. You keep those hips stable so the hips aren't twisting. Your torso is twisting. Good. Hug the belly and let it be wobbly. It's wobbly. And just try to stay stable in that wobbling, in that little maybe trembling that's happening to keep you balanced here. Top hand comes down. Good work. Here we go. Now standing split. Step into the front foot. Lift the back leg up. Fold it. Just gotta roll your outer left hip down a little bit. Feel your left inner thigh spin upward toward the sky. So the hips aren't splaying way open here. You're hugging the inner thighs to midline. Folding. Good. Step way to the back of your mat. Spin your back foot flat. Circle open to warrior two. Good. Softening the shoulders, but hugging the shoulder blades in. Chest is open. Draw your left ribs back a little bit. Soften your eyes down your front fingers. So back knee is off the ground now, right? So we want to make sure knee stays right over the ankle. It does not go beyond. Two more breaths. Feeling that right knee really roll open. Should be able to see your big toe, second toe when you look down. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, circling the hands down. Good, stepping your right foot back, lower forward in. Upward dog cobra. Downward facing dog. This time lower your elbows down to the ground for your dolphin pose. Pressing the chest back, so it's very much like your downward facing dog, but your forearms are on the ground. And your head is not touching the ground. Right, but ribs and belly in, chest pressing back. Not lifting the shoulders into the ears. Relax the neck. Keep the shoulders drawing away from the ears. And lower your knees down. Good. Shift your knees are wider apart, big toes touching, and then shift your hips back into your heels. If it feels okay, crawl your hands forward, bend your elbows, and bring the thumbs toward the back of the neck. Walking the elbows forward as far as you can. Downward facing dog. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, float those hips up. Good. Inhale here. And exhale. Lift the left leg up. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Okay. Stay rooted through those hands. Continuing to root through that right heel, even if it's not on the ground. You're reaching that right heel back and down. Reaching that left knee up. Pulling the left heel in toward the seat. And then step that foot up between the thumbs. Always just helping it through. If it only wanted to go part of the way, you just help bring it up all the rest of the way. Good. And then from there, inhale and bring your arms up, back heels up. Over the ball of the foot, you're going to bring your arms up. Oh, a little wobbly there. And then exhale, cactus. Good. Inhale, arms up. Just think about your heart being nice and open. Exhale, softly, slowly lower the knee down toward the floor. Untucking the toes, right hand comes down. Circling the left arm around, grab onto the foot, pull the heel in. Yeah. And modifying as needed, and deepening as needed. So you're just finding your edge, exploring your body, right? Your limits, along with your limitlessness. So don't let that fear tell you, oh, I can't do that. I can't, right? Why put that limit on yourself? Let your body show you what you can do, right? Don't let your mind tell you otherwise. And just because you couldn't do something one day, doesn't mean your body won't be available to it on another day. So why not just try anyway? You're releasing that foot gently. Try not to snap it like a rubber band. Come up. Shift your weight back. Flexing the front foot. Chest forward. And folding. Hopefully you're getting a nice little sweat on like me so far. A few breaths, just relaxing any tension out of the shoulder, out of the neck. When you're ready, you can lift her way up. And then placing the right hand either inside of that ankle or outside of the ankle for a little more challenge. Really press down, so make sure your back toes are pointing straight back at the top of that foot, shin pressing into the ground, and your circle around, right? Pull your ribs in, rotate those ribs around. Kind of feel like that left heel's dragging back toward the right knee, vice versa, staying nice and level in those hips. Holding the pose and not the breath. That breath just continues to flow. Helps us go deeper. That top hand coming down toward the ground. Nice job. Standing splits. Step into that front foot. Hands on the floor or bricks. Lift the right leg up. You're lifting up through your right inner thigh. Spiraling that right hip slightly down. And then energize. So here too, can you really find that that right leg is bright? Just like, woo, energize that leg up. And then powerfully best that you can, fold into that standing leg. And use your core, really hollow the belly and lift that leg as much as you can while folding in. Nice. Step to the back of the mat. Nice wide stride, back heel comes down, warrior two, circle up. Adjust your feet if you need to. Front heel intersecting back arch. With front knee right over the ankle. Ribs in, right ribs kind of pulling back. Aligning the shoulders over the hips. Back leg bright. Front leg strong. Try to get that thigh bone parallel to your mat. Soften your eyes, your jaw. Calm and center. Inhale, right arm back, left arm up, reverse. Exhale, circle the hands down. Vinyasa, step that left foot back, lower forward and down. You can always skip this part and just come straight into your child's pose. Good, and then when you're ready, from your downward dog, once more return your elbows to the mat. So obviously, if you lower to child's, just bring yourself up onto your forearms, hips lifting up and back. Good, so this time option to go just a little deeper. You can take your gaze toward your thumbs and then just walk your feet in a little bit. Your knees can be bent any amount. They don't have to stay straight. Knees can bend. Ribs in, don't let those ribs poke out. Start to shift forward a little bit. Lift your left leg up. Lift your right heel up nice and high. And just feel like that standing splits energy here. Press firm into your forearms. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Switch side. Left foot down, right leg up. Make sure those ribs didn't splay out. I have a banana back, so I always have to check in and make sure that I didn't lose my core connection. Ribs in. The gaze kind of shifts down toward the ground from the thumbs. And then step back. Good. Forearm plank. Everybody walk your feet back. Shoulders over the elbows. Nice and strong. Inhale. If you need, put the knees down. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Just one more breath. You can do it. Inhale. Exhale. Knees down. Hips down, heart up, shoulders back. Nice job. And then slowly releasing down. Interlace your hands back behind you. Nice chest expansion here. Lifting the chest up, knuckles back. One more breath left. Good. Releasing. Coming back into your Sphinx pose, elbows underneath the shoulders. Good. And then we're going to come into Ardha Bakasana, your half frog pose. So you're going to bend your right knee. Okay? You're going to reach your right hand back, grab the foot. Don't let the knee splay out to the side. Keep the knee pointing straight back. And then just pull that heel in any amount. If this is too much on your back, just focus on the thigh stretch. Place the forehead down on the forearm. If you know and your shoulders are open enough, you can point the fingers up, thumb facing in. This is tricky. Don't get too in your head about it. And then swivel your elbow up to the sky. If you want a little bit more, you can lift the elbow up. Keep that chest lifted, low belly in. Shoulder doesn't lift to the ear. One more breath. Elbow down if it's lifted. Release the foot kindly. And returning to Sphinx. Inhale. Exhale, reaching back, grabbing onto that left foot. Pulling that heel in. That same low variations. Nice. Right, so if you're trying that arm movement, the thumb faces the palms on the inside of the foot, the thumb faces up, and then you can just spin the hand around, elbows goes up. Keep the chest squared. Staying there, or elbow lifting or modifying by sliding the forearm forward to rest the forehead down. For 3, 2, and 1. Elbow down if it's lifted, release the foot. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Good. Exhale, lower down onto your right cheek and slide your left knee up toward your left elbow. Inhale, coming to center and letting that left knee slide back onto your mat. Good, and again, clasp the hands behind you. Other pinky on the top this time, so in your opposite clasp. Inhale, lifting up. Maybe you can lift a little bit higher this time. And then exhale, release down to your left cheek, and arms can just kind of cactus at your sides, and let your right knee slide up. Just resting, comfortable. Ram Dass said, if you want to cure the world, don't emanate fear, emanate love. Just remembering how powerful your energy is, your vibration, and what vibration are you sending out into your universe. And slowly you can release the right leg back down, returning the chin to the center. Let's try for a bow pose down your asana. So you're going to reach back and grab onto the outside edges of your feet. Okay. When you're ready, try not to let those knees split open. Keep those knees tracking straight back. Kick the feet into the hand, the chest lifts away from the floor. And then any amount that you can, start to kick your toes up to the sky. Maybe your chest lifts higher. Maybe you lift the gaze slightly. Good, one more breath. Slowly releasing. Good, nice work. Planting the palms, tuck the toes. See if you can just press yourself up in one piece, but don't forget your hips. Pressing up, nice. Downward facing dog. Now lift your right leg up. Step the foot up between the thumbs. Good. Coming into your standing split second round. Lift the back leg up and fold. Good. Okay, so this time option, you can grab onto your ankle with your right hand, maybe grab onto your ankle with your left hand, incorporating some balance in there, but keep trying to pull your forehead toward your leg, and keep trying to lift your left leg up. Okay, the more you pull on your ankle, the more it's going to help you balance. Shoulders off the ears. Nice work. Don't worry, you're going to catch yourself if you fall. Good. And releasing the hands to the ground. Step the foot back, circle up, warrior 2, and then straighten the front leg. Triangle pose, track your hips back, shift your weight forward. Good. Take your gaze up. Uh-oh. Looks like we got a low battery thing going on. That's all right. We'll be all right. Top hand comes down. Okay, so here's going to be our fun little kind of flow that we're going to do, this fearless flow. You're going to shift your weight forward into the front leg. You're going to lift that back leg up, back into your standing splits. Okay, now we're going to take the left hand, reach back, try to grab the left foot. Yeah, and then you're just going to fold into that leg, slide the hand next to the foot, and just lift that left knee up. But roll the outer left hip down, fold. Left knee lifting up, pulling the heel in toward the butt. Good. Now send your weight or your chest forward, slide your right hand forward, and then open it up into Ardha Chandra Trikonasana. So left hip over that right heel, and you're kicking your left foot behind your left seat. Maybe look up. Kick the foot. So now you're kicking the foot into the hands rather than pulling the heel into the butt. Good, now return to that standing splits variation, holding the foot, and bend both knees. So let the left knee start to lower, bend the right knee a lot. Look forward and in full trust, powerfully press your right foot down. Good, and lift, kick that left foot back. Sorry, wasn't very graceful. Now to Rajasana, dancer pose. Chest lifting, left hip coming forward. Kick the foot, kick the foot. The more you kick the foot, the more balanced you'll be. And release it. Nice work. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, fold down. Flat back, look up. Walk or hop your way through Vinyasa. Always opting out. That's better for you. You want to have a practice that fuels you, not totally depletes and exhausts you. So make sure you're finding that balance for yourself. Left leg lifts. Step the foot through. Circle up, warrior two. Straighten the leg, triangle pose. Shift the hips back, slide out over that left leg, and reach the arms in opposite directions. Good, and then here we go. You're going to just place the hands back down on the ground, lift that back leg up. Good, rotating that right hip in, grab onto the right foot. And then start to fold into your left leg. Try not to tense up your shoulders here. And keep folding. And keep lifting that right knee up and pulling the right heel in. Good. Start to slide your left hand forward as you rotate your right hip open. And now kick the foot into the hand. Kicking the foot into the hand straight back behind your right butt as opposed to up to the sky. Maybe your gaze stays down for balance. Maybe you shift your gaze up to the sky for more challenge. Good. And from here, slowly bending your left knee, rolling that right hip in, right knee coming down by the left knee. And then when you're ready, look forward and kick the foot into the hand as you powerfully press that left foot down and lift up and kick and reach and breathe. And if you fell, just giggle about it and get back up. No fear, don't be afraid to try it again because you messed up. You didn't mess up, you just lost your balance. No biggie. Kick and reach and release. Good work. Arms up. Fold down. Good. Flat back. And walk or hop your way through Vinyasa. Good, lower your knees down, take a child's pose. Option to take the variation we took before with the elbows walking more forward, palms touching, thumbs to the back of the neck. Also might be a good option to towel off. You can drink some water if you need. Just close your eyes. Feel your breath, the warmth in your body. You're feeling a little bit more open. Fear does not stop death, it stops life. Okay? It doesn't matter what amount of fear we hold toward what's happening in the world or to even the idea of death, right? It just keeps us, limits us from living whatever amount to whatever time that we do have here on this planet. And again, what can we just continue to lift our vibration? We need to come together collectively with this really positive, healing energy, faith and hope, trust, instead of just letting that fear ooze out everywhere. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to slowly bring yourself back up and come up so that you can bring your knees to hip distance, which as you lift your hips up, you can check, put 2 fists in between your knees, and that's a good way to make sure you got the right distance there. And then you're going to come up, we'll come into a nice gentle camel pose, so hands behind you. If you're going to turn the hands up, go ahead and do that. Wrap the elbows back. So what tends to happen here, right, again, is those ribs want to just splay out, belly kind of wants to poke out, the back wants to overarch and dump into the low back. So that's what we don't want to do. So what you want to do is just press your hips forward so you feel the hips staying over the knees. You want to just lift your chest up toward the sky. And just think about lifting up out of the lower back so much that eventually your head just starts to kind of want to go back. It has nothing to do with leaning back, it has nothing to do with dumping in the lower back. It's all about lifting up so much, there's nowhere else to go but back. Take a couple more breaths if you feel so inclined to take it deeper. You can bring your hands down to your heels or down to bricks, or you can even tuck your toes under so the heels aren't quite so far away. Keep lifting, like there's a string on your heart pulling you toward the sky. Maybe you drop your head back. Let your throat open, stimulating your thyroid gland. And to come up, you keep your head back. If it's back, you're going to feel almost like you're hugging a brick between your knees, between your thighs, to help you come back up, lifting through the chest. Exhale, sit back on your heels or onto some sort of support if you need it. Close your eyes. Bringing one hand to the heart, one hand to the stomach, and just really checking in. And being fearless is to turn toward our fears and to know what to choose, to listen, to acknowledge, to validate, and then to let go. To just continue to be in charge of who's driving the bus, because it's really all you can control, right, is how you feel, what your attitude about life or the moment is, how you live your life. Ready, inhale, and bring yourself back up. Good. Okay, so at this point you might want to bring your stuff to a wall. So if you want to quick do that, make your little adjustments. We're going to practice Pinchamarasana, your forearm balance, and maybe with an option to come into your scorpion, bringing the toes down toward the head. So I'm just going to do it in the middle. We'll see what happens here. You're going to bring your elbows down. I'm going to hold opposite elbows. You might want to watch first before you try yourself. And then you're going to bring your finger thumbs and forefingers down your inner wrist down. So just like you did earlier in your dolphin pose. So now hug the ribs in, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up. Okay, so just like we did before, you're going to walk your feet in as far as you can, knees bent any amount, gaze toward the thumbs or right down toward the space between your forearms. Left leg lifts, lift up through that left inner thigh. So you're going to roll that left hip forward. Good, low belly, hug it in again. Right heel lifts a lot. And maybe you just play with just taking little hops. Maybe you can get that right leg all the way up to the sky. Press down into your forearms, down into the inner wrist. Stay connected to the core. Come down when you're ready. Okay, so go ahead and try when you're ready. We'll make sure we do both sides. To modify, if you want to skip this part all together, as long as it's not due to fear. Check in with that for sure. Maybe you're menstruating, you're not feeling like going upside down, or the energy's just not there. That's fine. Take your feet up to the sky instead, or up your wall if you're at a wall. Making sure to do the other side. Walk the feet in, right leg lifts, inner thigh spirals up, right hip wraps. Good. And just see if you can energize the legs up for the sky. Take your time, keep breathing. Haven't done this in a while. Good. Whenever you're down, whenever you're ready, releasing down. Okay, so if you'd like to take your, we'll do a second round on each leg. So if you want to take your, turn into your scorpion. I'm not very balanced today, so I'm going to turn toward this little wall just in case. You're going to do the same thing. Sorry for the booty shot. And you're going to lift up. Woo! And I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to place the tops of the feet on the mat, or on the wall. So don't be too close to the wall. Then my gaze is going to start to shift up toward the wall as I press the feet in. And then you can start to bring the toes toward the top of the head. And keep lifting, keep the chest open, keep hugging in, everything in. Forearms pressed down. Come out kindly, slowly, gently, rest. So I'll give you just a little bit longer to just kind of play with it. You know, legs going back or not, being at the wall or not. Focus on staying engaged in your core, forearms pressing down, that kind of scissor energy in the legs that helps you just kind of float up. I think I'm scared of the camera. I'm a little camera shy right now. Whenever you're done, no rush at all. You can come back into your child's pose. You choose this time, knees closer together, arms at your sides. Or if you prefer extended child's pose, go ahead. Just whenever you're done and coming down, just check in with yourself and what that experience was like for you. Sometimes going upside down is really scary, and that's okay. Did you let that fear limit you, right? Or did you turn toward it, choose fearlessness, and allow it to let you fly? See, that fear doesn't allow you to fight or to fly. I saw that quote and it was almost kind of like, yeah, fear just kind of makes you like freeze, right? And that's not very productive, right? So, back when you turn toward it, be brave. When you're ready, you could slowly bring yourself back up. Okay. Shifting your hips to one side. Good. And just turning your feet, or swinging your feet around to forward on your mat. Okay. Let's start to cool things down a little bit now. Pull your right heel in toward you. Slide your seat out from underneath you. Reach your arms up. And then exhale, fold. Close your eyes. If you need to sit up on something because you're really tired or need to keep a little bend in your left knee, please do so that the pelvis is not tilting backwards. If you need something underneath your right knee because the bend feels like a little too much, go ahead and do that. Inhale, lifting part way up. You can open that right knee out a little wider if that feels good. And then dropping the left elbow down, right arm up and over. Ardha Jaya Shirsasana. Revolved head to knee pose. So feel the chest revolving open. No worries if you can't reach the foot, just reach. Just feel space in your right side body, right lower back, right hip. And lift your right arm up to the sky, let it land behind your right hip, and then let the left arm circle around, pressing the hips up, dropping the head back. So we're gonna get a little funky with it. So put your left hand down on the ground facing the back of your mat and then spin your back heel up. I know you're facing backwards now, but that's okay, just listen. Walk your hands more onto your mat and slide your right knee over to your right wrist so you're in pigeon pose. Left knee comes down to the ground. Good job. Hopefully you were able to figure that out. Good, chest lifting and exhale, fold down. So if pigeon is not a good option for you, then you can just bring your hips back down. Right, and you could even just cross the ankle over, coming into a seated figure four, or lower all the way down onto your back, heading into figure four. Right, and just relaxing and into this position for a little while. Several breaths, several moments opportunity. And just drop in a little bit deeper. I say we hold a lot of our emotional stuff, our emotional baggage in our hips. So I kind of like to call it like the junk drawer of the body. Maybe that's why they call it the junk in the trunk. But anyway, really acknowledging if anything comes up here, if you're feeling really tight, or even if waves of nausea happen. I know when I first started practicing, that was like just the thing for me. It was like, oh, I'm gonna barf. And so just know that some of that is emotional. It's even trauma. It's fear, right? It can be just kind of stuck down in there. Stuff you didn't really deal with. It just trickled down to rest. And I didn't really know what to do with it, so just put it in the junk drawer. And deep hip opening in our practice in general is kind of really working to sift through the junk drawer. What doesn't serve me? Okay, I still need these batteries. I'll keep those and put them in this little container over here instead of having them strewn all over the place. I don't need these 17 receipts, but I do need these 8 receipts for taxes. So just about kind of sifting through. Letting go what doesn't serve you. And you're throwing away the old bottle cap. The broken flashlight. The Band-Aid wrapper. I mean, who knows what you're going to find in there. You can settle in just a little bit more for these last 3 breaths. Relaxing your forehead down, maybe all the way to the floor, maybe on, maybe you've got your hands on stacked fists, but if you can just settle in a little bit more, making sure you're not laying over onto your right butt. Hips are level. And slowly, when you're ready, bring yourself back up. Good, now just listen. You're going to sit over onto that right hip, so just let all the weight come over as you kind of turn your left knee toward the left side of your mat. And then just spin yourself around to face the front of the room, the right knee lifting to the sky, scooching your hips to center square. And then slide your seat out from underneath you, sitting on something again if you need. Let's hold on to the left shin or ankle. Take the right arm up, inhale, and then exhale, reaching out for the foot, but then you're not going to grab it. You're going to flip your palm and wrap the arm back behind you as tightly as you can in front of the shin, okay? And then you could take a towel or strap if you want and fling it back there so you have something to grab onto, or maybe you can catch your hands. And chest open, stretching out over the left leg. And the right foot is not right up against the inner thigh. It's actually just right in front of the sitting bone. So there's about a fist worth of space or so between the inner thigh and the foot. But the heel's nice and close to the body. You're hugging that right leg against the body. Opening up the chest and shoulders. And getting a nice release through the lower back. And compression, those internal organs. Heading back up. Good. We'll do all that fun stuff on the other side. So take your right leg forward, left heel comes in, open it up. Good. Sorry, hips are still square. We're gonna fold straight forward first. These are all the parts I was like, oh, I could probably try to figure out how to edit that out, but I'm just going to be real, people. I totally mess up all the time. How about you? It's okay. And I think that actually is one of our fears too, right? It's fear. We keep ourselves from trying something new or doing something or forging a relationship with someone because we're afraid of making the same mistake again or just making a mistake in general, right? We're afraid of rejection, right? We're afraid of failure. But doesn't that just sound so limiting? Because what if you don't mess up? And what if you do? Okay, into Parvarita, Jaya Shirsasana, lift halfway up and drop that elbow down. Maybe that knee wants to open just a little bit more. Open, left arm up and over. Maybe touching the foot, maybe grabbing the foot and elbows, opening out to the sides. Maybe just reaching nice and far over toward the foot. Hug the low belly in. Keep pressing your left hip down toward the floor. Get that nice stretch. Full side body into that lower back down. And kind of starting to dig down into and reach down into, and just kind of creeping down into the juncture on that left side. And that left lower back. Inhale up, letting that left hand land behind the hip, and then circling that right arm up, lifting the hips, dropping the head back, heart open. Good, and then here we go. You're gonna listen. You're gonna pull that low belly in, let the right hand come down by the left hand and start to pivot the back heel up. And then you're just gonna start to slide the left knee over onto your mat, maybe walk your hands back onto your mat, and come into your pigeon pose, right knee coming down. You're going to walk your hands in for a moment to lift your chest, maybe tuck your back toes under, lift the knee, and just kind of slide your weight back a little bit. Take your seated figure four or figure four stretch if that's better for your body. You come down onto your forearms when you're ready. I didn't mention it on the other side, but you can always tuck something underneath of your left hip here if you need a little support, just by making sure that you're not just sitting over onto this side. And step into a place of surrender here, just really letting go, ungripping physically in the body, right? Ungripping, mentally. And not be quite so attached to some of the things that maybe you're attached to that don't serve you, that don't allow you to live your best and truest and purest, authentic life. Just a couple more breaths here. Slowly start to come back up. Send your hip over to the left and just pivoting yourself around to face the front of the room, adjusting your hips. Letting that left heel slide in right in front of the sitting bone, slide the seat out from underneath you. You can hold on to your shin with your right hand for now, just so you can really lift up, stretch, reach. Exhale, bring your hand out like you're going to grab the foot, but then flip the palm and wrap that arm around. Okay, really snuggle that leg against your side body, and then reach your right arm and wrap it. Maybe you can grab, maybe you take a towel with you, maybe you just press the energy, just hug the energy of the arms against the body. And stretching that chest out, and your chest, not your chin. So just notice if you thrusted your chin forward when I said chest, because it happens a lot. And it's okay, just relax the chin back down, but keep expanding the chest forward. Inhale, coming up. Nice work. Exhale, extend both legs nice and long. Slide the seat out. Reach your arms up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, fold forward. So again, you're welcome to be up on a blanket, just to give the hips a little boost. Have a little bend in your knees if you need. Try not to just let this happen. You don't want to be rounding the spine and letting your lower back dump back. So even if you're just barely leaning forward, right, it's going to be better, safer for your back. Maybe eventually you can get all the way down, and then eventually you can allow just that little bit of round to happen as the head drops down. Coming back up slowly. Bring the soles of the feet together. Heels in nice and close to your body for Baddha Konasana. Adjusting the seat anytime. I'm always adjusting just to make sure lifted and upright as possible. You inhale here. This might be your edge, or your exhale, start to bring your chest forward. And this might be your edge, or maybe you nudge the elbows into the inner thighs a little bit, helping those knees to open out a little bit wider. Just going through. So again, chest reaching forward, not chin. Feel the crown of the head lengthening. Coming up, inhale, good, knees together. Let's make our way down onto your backs. Just having your space, and we are preparing for final resting pose after we do a nice supine twist. So if you need anything before that, please go ahead and grab it. Come down onto your knees and bring your knees, onto your back. And hug your knees into your chest. Open your arms out to T, palms facing up. And just let your knees drop over to the right and send your gaze over to the left. If your shoulders need a little adjustment, give them a little adjustment. If your head needs a little adjustment to make it more comfortable, do that as well. It's all up to you. In this moment, can you just be an experience of joy? Letting that joy be big and bright. Ruth Gendler said, "Fear has a large shadow, but he himself is small." So fear is a valid emotion, a valid experience of being human, of being, but it's only as big as you let it be. let that joyful light lift up right above that fear, directly above, just like when the sun's at high noon and the shadow is just so small or barely even there. And you really see how big that fear truly is. Your knees up, head back to center, adjusting any little amount, upping your knees over to the other side when you're ready. Same thing, micro adjustments, head and shoulders, and dropping the gaze over to the right hand and close your eyes. I was going to share this last quote that references motherhood, which I think is totally a reasonable time right now to own a mother. So many moms trying to navigate staying at home to work and also try to homeschool their kids, and very much running into these moments of feeling imperfect, of feeling like a shitty mom or whatever. But anyway, this week. I do not know of any perfect mothers, but I do know many great ones. Sorry, I do know a lot of great moms. It is not perfection that makes a mother or anyone great. It is their humanity, vulnerability, and love. Knowing that they are not perfect, but human, yet they keep trying to be better and do better. So everyone out there, just keep trying to be better and do better, and drop the notion of perfection. Be vulnerable, fearless, and loving, and you're doing great. And you are great. Bring your knees back up to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Just in this knowledge, this reminder, right, that you are great. And give yourself a hug. Thank yourself for being you. For striving to just be better, because that's our path, is to just continue on learning, growing. When you're ready, final resting pose, legs extend long, feet are about mat distance, palms are at your sides and open. Nice deep breath all the way to the toes. Let it out your mouth. And with absolutely no fear limiting you from the amount you are capable of relaxing, allow yourself to relax. To relax deeply, completely, peacefully, calm and centered, even if just for this moment. Fearless. As we face this time with yourself, letting go, surrendering, deep trust.
Nice deep inhale, slow soft exhale. Stretching your fingers and toes. Maybe stretching your arms overhead, fingertip to toe tip, arching the back. When you're ready, curl the knees in, roll over to your right side. Just be cozy there for a moment. Slowly bring yourself up to seated. So just noticing here in this class today, I kind of fell all over the place. It wasn't perfect. And that's because I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm just like you. We're all just here doing our best. And I want to share that and be vulnerable with you and not try to edit and copy and paste and pretend I'm something that I'm not. Because this is just me here sharing with you in the best way that I can in this moment. And I guess we'll just end with, really when we take all these fears, we have a fear of making a mistake, or a fear of rejection, fear of death, really it just kind of all balls itself up into a fear of living. Because we're not truly living if we're limiting ourselves because of fear. May we be fearless and responsible and respectful, compassionate and loving. We're all in this together. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me for Fearless Flow today. I hope you enjoyed it and are feeling fearless and amazing and strong and brave and positive and joyful and bright. I hope you just let that step off of your mat today and into the rest of your day and all the other days, and enjoy living in this moment. If you enjoyed my class, please like and subscribe. And I do gratefully accept donations. Venmo, Leah, thank you. And thank you. That's all.